Hey everyone, Chuck here from Cuyahoga Sound Podcast. I just wanted to give a little intro to this episode because it's a bit different than the rest of ours. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with the camera, so this is audio only. This obviously won't affect those of you that are just streaming the episode through Spotify or Apple Music or wherever the heck else we have this thing publishing to. But for our YouTube viewers, just wanted to let you know that we've resolved the issue. This won't be happening in any further episodes. And we also wanted to send a sincere apology to Brian and Emily from Enlightenment Event Lighting, who are our guests on this podcast. We'll definitely be looking to do something in the future with them to get a little bit more video so that they have some more YouTube presence other than a couple background images that we've added to this. So anyways, enough of my yapping. Let's move on to the podcast. Thanks, and please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to Cuyahoga Sound Podcast. I'm Evan Stone.
Danny Shipley.
Today in studio we have Brian and Emily, husband-wife duo of Enlightenment Event Lighting.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yes.
You're welcome. I'm always excited when we can get some behind-the-scenes people in here. I love all our musicians, but this is an area that is very unknown to me, and
Yeah.
I'd like to be enlightened.
Ah, nice.
Did you just come up with that?
I did.
That's so
That
That
was
was
great.
organic.
That was good. Yes. Sounded
Before we get started, let's acknowledge Danny Shipley,
Hi.
new co-host of the podcast.
Happy to be here.
Very happy to have him as my new co-pilot in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also our new studio space, with air quotes.
That looks great.
Legit.
Yes. All right, well, Brian, Emily, tell us how this all came to be. Why don't you start at the beginning?
So it's all her fault. I'll just start there.
Thanks.
Actually, Enlightenment Event Lighting actually probably would be your fault. Because, I was doing lighting before we met, and then through losing a job and deciding not to go back to it, and just diving into it was kind of your idea.
Yeah. Yeah, we met in summer of 2016, and then I think it was the next spring, so spring of 2017, we kind of came up with a name, and we were like, if we want to do this, let's do it the right way and dive in and give it a name and get that name out there, because music is such a passion for both of us and everybody that's on this podcast, and there's so many different ways to be involved in the music scene, not just being on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that go unnoticed sometimes.
Yeah.
So when you are stage lighting for a concert, how early before do you have to set up? Are you there before the bands?
Most of the time.
80-90% of the time, we're usually the first one's in, last one's out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Nice.
Long days.
it's a commitment.
Dedication.
Yeah. But yeah, probably if we had to rush it, maybe 2 hours before the show to get it all set up, dialed in, run the wires, and get everything going.
Yeah.
A lot of it's pre-programmed ahead of time because it's not like you're doing it for one band where you can dial in the programs per song. It's because one band or one day you might be doing a country band, next day you might be doing a jam band, the next day you're doing a rock band. So it varies a lot.
Have you had the opportunity to do something like that where a band or an event hires you and they say, these are our songs, try to sync the lights up with our songs?
Not specifically, but we do that pretty much every show.
Occasionally bands will send us a set list and be able to look up their music.
You tied into the
certain
kick drum or
songs.
something like that.
Yeah.
Not that deep, but they'll give us cues for when things are gonna happen or certain colors.
Yeah, or a certain mood color that they want for certain songs, or
Do you always listen to bands ahead of time to get an idea of how to play with them?
Sometimes.
Yeah, ones that we aren't very familiar with. We get the pleasure of working with
But then
a lot of friends and stuff too, so.
It's also hard too, like when you're going to do a music festival, when it's like, hey, there's going to be 15 bands, so you might not have the time to listen to every single one of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of on the spot, at least the way that we do it, because again, we're not touring with a specific band, so it's all a lot on the spot.
Just listening by ear and just playing to what we hear. It's like another instrument we're playing with the band.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You can hear from the audience members all the time. Like light is such a big part of it these days.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen some spectacular light shows just get better and better over the years, and like even with the huger bands, one of the best light shows I ever saw was Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And like I've seen them before, and they didn't have lights like that.
That's awesome. It really does
You
set
gotta
the mood.
step up the game nowadays.
Yeah, it's hard. Lighting is one of those things where, like, because technology is evolving so quickly and rapidly and constantly,
Yeah.
it's so hard to constantly keep buying the new toy that's out for stage lighting and stuff, and it like,
Especially at $1,000 plus a light.
Yeah.
It's like,
$1,000 a light.
so the big movers that we have, I think when I bought them, the new was just under that, like 990 something. But now those are outdated. They don't even make them anymore. They're discontinued.
Can you sell your old equipment though?
You can.
You can. Is it like
But just like
marked
anything
down?
else. Oh yeah, this would be.
I played at a church one time. They had the old lights from the Def Leppard shows, probably back in the I want to say 90s probably. But like those lights were big.
yeah,
Those were, that was the time I went in. I was like, those are some big lights. I know you all got those for free. They did get them for free. They were donated, but like that was the time. I was like, those some old lights.
Those old par cans, not only are they huge, but they draw a lot of power too.
Yeah.
They used
And
to
a
have
lot.
to go like straight to the mains in the power box to be able to supply all that power.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, my dad told me stories back in the day. They would go into bars and just bypass the whole circuit breaker box and just right to the main power coming in to give them enough power.
Goodness.
Did your dad do lights?
No, but he was a drummer in the bands throughout the years through Cleveland, so
Cool.
I grew up around the drums. So that's where I started.
yeah,
Doc. Yeah.
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 Good guy.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is in the future of, or let's just start immediate. What this summer? You guys have a lot plans, a lot that you're lighting up.
Have some stuff coming up. Everwild, Tropidelics Festival.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There. Yeah,
Nice.
that one's always
Fall
a good time.
Hookahville.
Yeah. Just
when
did
that
Spring
one again.
Hookahville.
Yeah, we just did spring, so we'll be on Fall Hookahville as well again.
I remember when you guys did Freak Stomp Tropidelics Festival, like 2018 or 17 or something.
Everwild.
Pre-Everwild.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I knew you were, Brian, I knew you guys were doing your thing.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that you guys were doing your thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, well, these guys are on that professional level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
we were
proud of
doing the
you guys.
main stage at all the Freak Stomps.
Yeah.
Then once Everwild got to a little bit bigger of a thing, they got a bigger stage and bigger production, and now we're kind of on the side stage, still doing our thing and putting a big thing on, but
Yeah.
can't compare to some of the bigger productions.
Yeah. Where are they throwing that these days?
Everwild should be at Legend Valley.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hookahville was there. Fall Hookahville won't be. They'll be at that new Thunder Valley. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, it's a new venue.
Thunder Valley?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Good question.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. Yeah.
How many gigs do you guys do a year?
It varies.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know if I've ever actually counted.
I mean, you break it down to like all the little gigs during the winter at just bars and concert clubs to festivals. I mean, probably
So like every weekend.
30, give or take.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
If we can fill them in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have personal time too.
That's what the week is for, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, work all week and then work doing lighting all weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are happy doing that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So, how big do you see? What are your aspirations like? What kind of festivals are your dreams to light up?
I mean, we do have some goals.
We do have some goals. So we long term really would like to purchase a large property and start an event center.
That's awesome.
That's the goal down the road. Something where we have the event space for music festivals, shows, weddings we would like to throw. And then on the other half of the property be a legitimate campground too. So during the week and stuff you have campers and then
What a great goal.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So it'll be a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of planning and stuff, but that's the dream.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now, I mean, we're trying to move that direction by trying to build some rental items.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
building a bar to rent out for weddings, or the thought of maybe either a bar trailer or a bathroom trailer for rent, or miscellaneous like arches for weddings, doing lighting for weddings and things like that. She's done coordinating for weddings and started her own business, Shimmer. So that will all eventually hopefully tie together and just mesh into one thing.
All the little different facets are slowly
Decorations.
building, and then at the end goal will be able to have them all centralized at one location to throw some big events and stuff like that.
So is that like wedding planning or just decorations or
Shimmer, it's
whole thing?
all of it, event and wedding planning. I make decor, I make apparel, so if there's any bands that need merch made, t-shirts or like koozies and different stuff like that. Yeah, I have branched into that too and stuff. And
All right, merch maker, our first merch maker on the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah, but
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully it should all line up down the road to.
yeah.
We're going to call you up for some Cuyahoga Sound podcast merch.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be sweet.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so can we get into how you two met?
Sure.
So, would that be how we met also, technically?
No,
Through the
no,
jam scene?
We knew each other for a couple years
Okay.
before you guys
Was it
got
jamming
together.
at the Ledges, though, is where you guys met?
It was through Steve, the old drummer
Oh,
of
yeah,
New
yeah.
and Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, I used to do, at Classic Fest at Nelson's Ledges every year. That was always my birthday weekend, so I was like, all right, we're gonna go big and have fun. And that's when I met this guy with the guitar next to us, and he was phenomenal, this guy Mark. And he was jamming out on this amplifier, and I'm like, people are walking by this guy thinking this is a radio probably. Like, I need to get a couple lights to light this guy up. So, lo and behold, I bought a couple lights, which started my lighting career. And then the year later, following that, when we were supposed to do the next jam where I had all the lights and all the power, we're ready to go, he up and moved to California like a month prior.
I love it.
So this whole thing wrapped around this one guy turned into, I met this one guy randomly in the woods. I could probably meet more. Let's make it an open jam.
There you go.
So I still set it up, had a drum set, some power out there, some amps and guitars, and just whatever musicians want to walk up.
That was one of the highlights of my summer. I looked forward to for like a few straight years.
It was fun, yeah. I did it with me and my dad helped, and I did that for close to, I think, 10 years.
Yeah.
Just on my own, not getting paid, bringing it all in, going to the show and setting it up in the woods afterwards.
Very pure.
There's one year that the one of the guys from the Pink Floyd band had a stroke or something, and so the Pink Floyd band didn't play, which is always the Saturday headliner. And so the Tom Petty Band did a bunch of extra deep cuts until like 11, but
Right.
at the jam night, we just specialized in doing a bunch of Pink Floyd songs that year.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get into because it's all random musicians. Like every musician on stage met moments before that and just started making music out of nothing.
Yeah.
And one day I was doing it and this cute little blonde girl walked up with a guitar and wanted to play. But she had an acoustic on, and I said, you know, everyone's playing electric guitar, so you're going to have to wait till later when it calms down. I mean, there's like so much going on. I'm not going to stop the party to put on some chill acoustic music, no offense.
No, none taken, none taken.
So,
It's perfect.
so yeah, I just basically said, you know, you can hang out, and I was like, there's some beer there, and then I was totally clueless, and then she, you know,
I started
yeah.
he had Classic Fest shirts that he made for jam night and stuff, and I was like, give me the shirts, I'll go sell them. So I'll go make friends and be like, hey, you want to buy a t-shirt? So I just like came back
Just
periodically
started
with
handing
some
me
money.
money.
I was like, hey, I sold some shirts. He still did not catch on that I was like trying to say, hey.
To be fair, I was on some substances that night, so I wasn't fully there. But
But yeah, so after I ended up waiting around because I wanted to play and stuff. At that time, I actually was headed to Nashville afterwards because I played country music and had never been to a jam band festival ever before. So that was a little bit of a culture shock to me, but it was awesome.
It's like a complete awakening, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what is this?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not even a popular... Well,
Yeah.
it's popular in festivals as a genre, but outside of that, like, you're not going to drive down the road listening to jam bands unless you've been to a jam band.
Right, exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
right.
So then
Totally.
I just like hung out the rest of the night, and that's how we met.
Then I finally caught on at some point.
finally, yeah. And I did go to Nashville for a few months and busked as a street performer down there, and then a few months later I had to
She
come.
missed me.
Yeah, I did, and came back for.
adorable.
Yeah.
Came back for
True.
some sort of family something or rather, and I was like, hey, I'm back in town, you want to get together? And he said sure, and then I never left after that, and we're still together almost 6 years later now.
We never really had official, like, we're dating now, like, anniversary date. And she was pretty much moved in with me before we kind of started dating, which was really weird and backwards, and I never would have done ever, but it happened.
It happened really organically.
You have an anniversary date now, though.
We
Isn't
do.
that
Yes,
right?
now,
Yep.
now that we're married.
Yeah, got married
Congratulations.
5 years.
August last year. Yep, almost a year now.
Okay. That was a fun time.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you guys put on your own lighting?
Yeah, I
We did, and we had a live band.
I got a shout out from the band
Wow.
at my own wedding for doing lights at my own wedding.
Shout out
There
John
you go,
Welton,
making
The
wonders.
Awakening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John Walton and the
Jay
Awakening.
Wada.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love John Welton and the Awakening. They're a great band, good people.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So, so that's how you guys met, and then we skipped to like you guys getting married. I'm sure there's a ton in between with that, with lighting, and with you guys going on adventures and great festivals and lighting them up.
Yeah.
What's give us some highlights from the time of this company?
Well, I guess an interesting one would be when we left Cleveland for a year.
Yeah.
For a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, year and a half, something like that.
Yeah, we had the idea to build a tiny house and just go travel the side of the country for a year and doing lighting on the road.
Wow.
So we did that, traveled with a tiny house festival circuit. So we were showing off our tiny house and doing lights
house
at the
festival
festivals.
Yeah. The tiny house
That's what they
festivals, they're awesome. They host them at like fairground properties and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they'll have like
90,
90, 100 plus tiny houses in one venue, from like school bus conversions to vans to trailer conversions to
Little teardrops.
just
Wow.
anything and everything in
Yurts.
between.
What
And
kind did you?
Yurts, yes. I love
What kind did you guys make?
we did a cargo trailer conversion.
Yeah.
So it's just a little 7x14 foot trailer. It was like
From the
104
outside,
square foot living space.
Yeah,
Very
from the
small.
outside, it's really incognito. I mean, it just looks like your regular landscaping trailer, if you didn't know.
With
Wow.
With windows.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
You go inside and it's home.
Yeah. Bed,
It's got
kitchen,
shower,
shower.
fridge.
Yeah.
And we fit all the lighting gear underneath the bed and everything. So,
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah. All that in 104 square feet.
Yeah.
Itty bitty living.
What did you
Very tiny.
haul it with?
I
did you
had
drive
a
around?
Silverado 1500.
Yeah.
Then all the light stuff fit in that tiny home?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
Underneath
'Cause
the
we-
bed.
Yeah. Because we bought it empty cargo trailer and built the whole thing inside, just the two of us. And that was part of our building plans was, okay, if we're going to go on the road, we have to book shows where we're going to fund our travels, and
Gotta
so
make money somehow.
that was a part of the building plan was it all has to fit and we got to take it all with us.
So there's no room to add a piece while you're on the road?
No,
I mean-
no.
Well, we did have a cab on the back of the truck. So
See, that was like our garage with the cab in the back of the truck. You put like
Yeah.
the generator and like some firewood and
Wow.
the bicycles and miscellaneous this
Yeah.
that.
Cool.
yeah.
What was one of the best states that you guys went to? Or festivals?
Man,
In Florida, probably.
Nice.
Florida, yeah, the Florida Tiny House Festival, that was fun.
Yeah,
Wow.
we did a lot on the road. We did a lot of like freecampsites.net. It's like
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of free campsites all over. You just look it up. What's
This is
by
just
you.
such a resource podcast.
Brian, you told me about that at like 6 or 7 years ago, that website.
Yeah.
I used it extensively on my travels.
Yeah, they work great.
Freecampsites.net.
A lot of them don't have power or hookups, but like
No.
I would
a
assume
lot
so,
of them
yeah.
are trailheads for like horseback riding or ATVs.
There
or
was
something.
there's this one in northwest Colorado that when Brianna and I were out there in 2020, we used that site, and it was basically off the highway, and like you drive down, and there's just numbered posts like camp here,
That's awesome.
camp here, whatever.
That's
and
cool.
the biggest, most vast, clear sky I've ever seen. Billions of stars. It was. I think we
Wow.
spent like 3 hours just staring up at the stars
That's
with music
awesome.
going. Like, never seen a more clear sky than out there.
Yeah.
It could be really
Thanks to
hit or miss.
freecampsites.net.
It could be really hit or miss.
That's
If
true.
it-
I'm not
I mean,
gonna
you
tell
go
a
from
bad
one
story.
spot like that with beautiful view, or right by a lakeside, and then you stop at one where there's like a mattress that's all messed up and like a bag full of ripped open kids' clothes and things, and you're just wondering what kind of terrible thing just happened.
Yeah, some of them are a little shady, but
some of them.
majority
Is this a
were
bear
good.
cave?
Yeah, yeah,
Some of you just keep moving to the next one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are really nice though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do they have like a rating system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do,
wow.
It's
yeah.
all like
Wow.
self-perpetuated, so whoever's on it can put a review on there and add pictures and all that.
Yeah,
So
Beautiful.
like you or I can go there and say, "Hey, I didn't like this," or "I like that," and put it on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun being on the road because there's obviously doing lighting and stuff in Cleveland. Like, we're pretty familiar with the Cleveland local scene and stuff, but being able to branch out to other states was fun to meet other people and different styles of music and different event hosts and different things like that. It
Just-
broadened the horizons a little bit.
Just the way the music industry is in different cities is interesting too. It's like Cleveland's unique in its own, where we can do what we do. Like we thought, oh, let's go to Nashville. There's a whole bunch of music there we can get in lighting, but
It's oversaturated, isn't
it's
it?
so oversaturated and everybody plays for tips. So no one's gonna pay a lighting guy.
Nobody
to come
has
in.
set
no-
pay.
yeah, there's no
That is
budget
something
for
I
it.
realized about
Right.
Nashville. Like, even if you play in the bars and stuff, it's tips.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. I had friends tell me I'm making more money in Cleveland than they are in Nashville. They're like, how are you performing so much? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We just practice a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even to play on the strip in Nashville, you have to be a part of the circuit.
Yeah.
Have a
You
permit
can't
and all
just
that, yeah.
No.
go and do it. You have to
Nope.
like apply to be considered to go.
Yeah,
Not even guaranteed. Just you have to apply to even be in the loop.
yeah.
Yep.
I love Nashville, but it's definitely different. The
Yeah, it's
different
just-
scenes, state to state. Yeah.
The Strip's not where you're gonna find the real music anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Outskirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who has a basement in Nashville has a studio down there. That's what I've heard. Like I'm in Nashville. I'm like, well, everybody in Nashville has a studio.
Right.
And
Cool, man. I love being a part of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not flashy, but it's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually, when we hit the road, we were kind of like, hey, let's spread our wings and see where we land. And something still drew us back to Cleveland.
wow.
What's
Yeah.
another city you found a happening local music scene in?
Trying to remember where.
Florida.
I know,
Yeah,
Florida
What
keeps
What
coming
city?
back
What
to
city
my
in
mind.
Florida? I lived in Jacksonville at one
We
point.
were in St. Augustine.
St. Augustine's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
surfed one time. I
Oh,
surfed
nice.
for the first and last time, and I did very well. I don't know if I'm going to surf again because of how well I rode that wave.
Yeah.
You were like, "You done this before?" I was like, "No." I was like, "No."
And my
Palm
God.
City.
Yeah.
We're done. I was like, I rode it all the way to shore. It was amazing.
Nice.
But St. Augustine is really artistic. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Yeah,
You go to
friend-
Branson?
What's that?
Branson, Missouri?
I don't know if
My
I've ever been
dad
to
was
Missouri.
talking about that, and it's got a good music scene. He used to
Okay.
tell me go to Nashville. He's like, go to Branson. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I wanted to check it out.
We need to go
Yeah.
further west. We've been kind of secluded to the East Coast. We need to. I've been saying we need to go out toward Cali and
Yeah.
go out west.
Well, it's hard with lighting gear. That's a lot more than taking music like your instruments
Yeah.
on a plane and being able to fly out there. It's like
Yeah.
either gets really expensive to fly all of that out there, or really expensive in gas to drive a trailer all the way across the country. So
What's the packing like? Like, what is the equipment going? Or
I mean, the bigger lights, I've made my own cases.
Oh, wow.
Just like wood cases with the styrofoam packing that came with the lights. So you could pack it back in there. You know, they're safe and
Yeah.
secure. Some other ones that are less expensive, you kind of just
throw it in a
throw them
backpack.
in where they fit. You know.
yeah.
That's good. That's good to know.
Cool.
Yeah, surprisingly, the big of shows as we do, I could fit the majority of it in the cab of my truck,
Wow. Okay.
in an extended cab, full size truck, minus the truss.
Well, you guys have a website. People can check out events you've done, pictures, videos of your work.
So we do have a Facebook and Instagram page. I believe both of them are at Enlightenment LD. Website I'm actually currently redoing right now. So it was enlightenmenteventlighting.com, but I'm hoping to be able to shorten it if Enlightenment LD is available, because that's a lot to type out. But yeah, we're kind of like doing a little bit of a transition, like kind of rebranding a little bit.
New logo and things.
Yeah, stuff like that. So website is under construction, but it'll be out relatively soon.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Great. Cool.
yeah.
Do you feel like you get more gigs through the website? Like, so like I somehow get a lot of gigs through Facebook. I don't know how. I thought it was a crap
Yeah.
market for that, but it was Facebook for me.
Yeah.
And then some people say like commercial stuff is really good with a website. They want to see like a website and just like the good design. I don't know.
I mean, I'd say majority is word of mouth and
Wow, cool.
a little bit of Facebook. I mean,
There you go.
our website hasn't been up for a little bit just because we changed some things and updated things and just kind of didn't stay on top of it. So now we're going through and redoing that. But
Yes.
the majority of it was just word of mouth. Just
Yeah.
doing shows
Somebody-
for people.
somebody
Someone
sees-
recommends it, and
Yeah.
or they're at the show and they ask. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty tight knit unit of the music scene, so kind of easy to branch out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is this a kind of thing that you team up with other lighting companies ever to like make an even bigger setup?
Definitely, yeah. That's actually another thing that helped us get to where we are too, is meeting our friend Eddie, who is on Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah.
He
Yeah,
was
he
on
was
your
just on,
podcast.
yeah.
He has his own production company called Scuda Productions, and me and him were kind of at the same level when we met some years back, and we decided instead of competing against each other, let's just join forces and we can do bigger shows and music festivals together than we could trying to compete separate. So that's how we were able to get on like the Freak Stomps and Everwild and Hookahvilles and all those, was because me not having enough or him not having enough, we bring them together and we have twice the amount.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
The
good.
more we grow, the
good to
more we
hear.
grow, and we still keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun working with Eddie. He's good people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's hear about some of your favorite events you've ever done, or the ones like you might be most proud of.
Man.
I was always proud of Root Wires.
Yeah, Root Wire stage was really cool. Root Wire is
was
no
awesome.
longer a festival, unfortunately. But yeah, the stages there were really cool because they would have people come in and do like architectural type of builds on the stage.
Woodworking.
Yeah, they would build like wood. I know the one year it was like a honeycomb.
honeycombs.
They made it look like a beehive type of
Around the
thing.
whole sides of the stage.
Yeah, so that was really cool to be able to.
Yeah, and those had like salt lamps in some
Yeah.
of them and plants hanging
Was
out
that
of
at
them.
Wisteria?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Wisteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had another guy, I believe his name was Brandon. I could be wrong on that, but he had this giant projector, and he projected on each individual hexagon of the honeycombs
What?
and all the trees around it and everything. Like the mapping that he did on that was absolutely bonkers.
But then he tied all of that to a Guitar Hero guitar and would pass it around, and different things on it would
People in the
trigger the
crowd
projections
could-
to do different things.
That
So
was next level.
yeah, Root Wire, that one was just fun because it was such a collective team
Yeah.
build of a stage. So like all the
lot
other
of
things that
different
people
pieces.
were doing just amplified our lighting setup so much more and could play off of what other people were doing, and
Yeah.
it really made it what it was. It was really cool.
Yeah,
But-
that one was fun.
Freak Stomp that one's always just that one's got a good crowd. Everybody's very lively.
I mean, we did lights for Afro Man. Come on.
We did
That's
do lights for
the
Afro
biggest
Man.
name that we've done lights for. I think.
Afro, man. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was good. We did Tropodelic always does like the mustache contest at their festivals.
Yeah.
So we used like these the thin LED strip things that we made and did a giant mustache on the stage
Big
that lit
and
up
pixel
that did
mapped.
different things and pixel mapped that. So that was cool.
So cool.
And we only lit it up for the mustache contest.
Yeah. And
The only time the mustache was lit was for the
What did the
contest.
crowd sound like when it came on? What did
Hey,
do?
they loved
They were
it.
like, oh!
yeah,
Man, that's so cool.
that was good.
But yeah, this last one, I mean, you weren't at it. You were at a bachelorette party, but this last
Was.
Hookahville was...
Mm.
That was something else, because that Legend Valley is just the next level venue. The giant trailer stage.
I'll take another beer.
And
I'll take that hazy IPA if you got it. Yeah.
as hard as I worked at that show, which was pretty hard, I did not control lights once at night.
Oh, wow.
Because all of the bigger acts that were on our stage at nighttime had their own lighting designers.
Oh, wow.
So they took over our lights or had their own that they would set up and take over. So like we would run lights during the day, and then at night it was kind of like on standby, hook them up, make sure they're good to go, and run back and forth whatever they need.
Wow. Anyone need one? All right. Cool.
I'm good.
Thank you.
So yeah, it was a lot of work, and it was really, really cool to work with a lot of the bigger acts. Like Dopapod, like I was saying, had like probably $100,000 lighting set up, and
Yeah.
then Aqueous and Talk both came in the night after that and took over. They just plugged into our stuff, and one show to the next, just unplugged, plugged it into the next guys, and took over. It was
It's a good learning
amazing to watch.
experience.
Do these bands rent the lights or they own them?
In that case,
Yeah.
so Dopapod probably owns theirs.
That's crazy.
But it made, and I'm not 100% sure, I mean, they probably have it sent on trailer to wherever the next show is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could probably rent them if you needed to somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So-
it depends.
Yeah.
So you're saying they have their own light people? light people that come
lighting
on tour with
designers.
them.
Yeah.
And they dial it into their jams.
Yep.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
right? Cool.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get to pick their brains and learn a lot from them?
Yeah, and one thing I need to do is to definitely upgrade software. So Grand MA is what most of the big acts use, but I mean, it's probably a couple $1,000 just to get the software and the hardware to use it. So it's an investment, but what you can do with it is crazy, but it's also learning a whole new animal.
Yeah.
That's like you learning the guitar and then saying, okay, go learn the drums now.
Yeah, so it's a whole new
You know,
language.
you're still playing music,
Yeah.
but it's a new language.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool when they come in and do that because you get to see how they operate and, like you said, pick their brain and get input and ideas and knowledge and, like, at Hookahville, like, a learning experience.
yes, definitely.
You know, which is really cool because we're always aiming to learn more and to grow and to be able to do bigger shows and dial in our skills and all that stuff. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys, when you guys go to like different venues, do you ever run into like electrical problems where they have like different electrical conduits? I played this one at a rodeo. It was actually at like a Painesville Raceway, and they were doing a rodeo kind of thing for the 4th of July. And the band I was playing with, our sound guy, he plugged into their conduit and he turned it on and it fried some of my electronics, and like some of my preamps and my electronics stopped the electrical circuit from frying everything inside my pedals. And I was like, what did you do? Like I could run no pedals, but like, do you guys ever run into like different electrical conduits and you're like, well, I gotta get something else?
I mean,
Yeah,
not very often, but we have.
Yeah. We've learned that's one of the first questions when we get somewhere is what's the power situation?
Yeah.
How are we divvying this up?
Get somebody back there with the pedal.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing too, is like a rule of thumb with lighting and sound is you want to keep those on separate power circuits.
Yeah.
Because the motors and the lights could interfere with the sounds and the amplifiers and things. So
We fried all of our lights. We had no lights all show. We were like, oh.
Yeah. We did have one experience that both ours and Eddie's hazers got fried.
yeah.
Do you have insurance then? Is there insurance?
At the time we did not.
Woo!
So I mean it was a few $100s each, but the part that made it fun was at Rootwire Festival, and we were running 3 stages that weekend, and then we fried 2 of our hazers.
Ooh.
So we then had 1 hazer we had to run between
from one
3
stage
stages.
to the next stage.
My turn! Run!
So like 5 minutes before the set ends, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go unplug that, run it over to the other stage, and get it kicked on, so we can be ready for the next set. And I had to do that for every single set.
Yeah.
And at Rootwire, it was music from like 12 in the afternoon to like 7 in the morning, non-stop between the 3 stages.
But we made it work.
Was that one that you guys
Non-stop.
did with Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, between the 3 of us running it all, it was like a non-stop 3 stages, running it all back and forth. It was,
Yeah.
But
But you learn. When that happens, you learn. That's one of the questions. You make sure that you have somebody, especially at festivals, like our one buddy, Keith, shout out to Keith, does electrical work and
bypass
stuff.
circuit.
Yeah.
Keith Fiorino.
Yeah.
Cheers to him.
Yeah.
And another shout out on the podcast
Yeah.
to Keith.
But it's nice when you have somebody on the property in staff that's monitoring the electrical situations for the bands and for us, and making sure that it's all done safely and different things like that. Sometimes you run into weather and like you don't want electrical cords underwater. That's happened in the
Or
past.
just having
different
the
things like
electrician there to say,
No.
everything got
that.
wet.
Just say no.
Everything got wet. You flip the switch.
Jeez.
I'm not flipping the switch. You flip the switch.
I did a show in the foundation room at the House of Blues. It was a contest, and the first band went up, and they set everything up, and the keyboard went up, and he played the first note, just touching his keyboard, and he got like zapped.
Oh no.
And everybody was like, "What?"
Oh,
And later,
no.
I plugged my amp. I had just gotten like the most expensive amp I own, and I brought it on stage. I plugged it in. It was my first time playing out with it and everything. I turned it on. I was just like, nothing was happening. And I was like, anybody else have an amplifier? I was just terrified what was going on. But like electrical is so important. If you show up like a little like before you're loaded or whenever you're supposed to be there and you don't test it out, like we're doing nothing tonight, I guess. Like it's terrifying.
Yeah, it's
terrifying.
So important.
Yeah, and that depends with the lighting too. Like I know our lighting setup is mostly LEDs, so we can run pretty much our whole setup on 120 amps.
So you're flexible. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now when we were working with Eddie, he's got some other lights that are like incandescent lights that draw a lot more power.
Yeah.
Like the Sharpie lights that he has, the 4 of those are 13 amps just for those 4 lights. So it's like, well, you need to know what power we're going into so we know what to bring even.
Wow.
We can bring too much and go, oh, we can't use that because we don't have the power to. So we kind of have to limit it off that also sometimes.
Yeah. We do bring generators sometimes, though, just in case. For festival weekends and stuff like that.
I don't think we've ever had to use them.
No, but we have them. Just in case.
True. Yeah.
Cool. Good backup.
Yeah.
Let's take a second and thank our lovely sponsors who help us put this podcast on. Let's start with the OG sponsor, Danny. Would you like to tell everybody about Basement Trader? Let's have your first ad on the podcast here.
Basement Trader. They do guitars, basses, and other oddities. They buy, sell, and trade, and do repairs. And they also sponsored these microphones, and I believe the centerpiece.
Oh, that interface is from Mr. Chuck Schilling.
Different guy.
Yeah.
All right.
And the runner of Basement Trader is Chuck Kaminsky, our beautiful, beautiful friend.
2 Chucks.
What the Chuck?
What the Chuck?
Yeah. Chuck Schilling, we already miss you, man. Wish you were here. And Basement Trader, Chuck Kaminsky, that's BASSEMENT Trader.com. And he does a quick turnaround on all the setups you need for your instruments, and he'll do other repairs, and he'll get you vintage gear.
Does he do amps?
He does not
he
do
do
amps.
lighting?
Does he do lighting? Well,
What does he do? What does he do?
you should email him at basementtrader@yahoo.com and ask him yourself.
Nice.
Let's also give a shout out to Russell Jones, owner of Jones Drones Cleveland. He offers commercial drone services focused on creative solutions. That's drones, sales, lessons. Photography is his main thing. If you would like to check out episode 18 of the podcast for some of his amazing footage he did for the NBA All-Star Game for TNT.
Good dude.
Nice.
And check out his website, which is jonesdronescle.com.
Nice. He got some sweet drone footage at our wedding, too.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
We're all one happy family.
We are, in some way or another.
I'd like to shout out to Listen CLE, episode 9 of the podcast. We interviewed the administrators of that. They are a great Cleveland collective that sponsor each other. This is all about promoting locally in the Cleveland music scene. If you go to listencle.com, one of my favorite links is to their 9 mood-based playlists that are all Cleveland bands, all Cleveland, Akron, Youngstown, stretch out to Columbus sometimes, but all based in Ohio. Everything from love songs, energy, chill, feel good, rock songs, you name it, it's there. And one of their new features, which I'd like to tell you guys about, is they have a musicians or artists database that you can sign up for, and they're promoting all throughout the city and to go to this database and find people you need for events. And I'm not sure how many lighting companies are up in there, but if you guys get yourself in there, that could point you to some gigs.
Yeah.
You can mention our name, that might get you higher up the list.
Yeah. Cool.
I just started working with different people, and it was a month after I signed up for them, so I'm wondering what they might have done already. I have no idea.
People just reaching out to you?
No, like finding my email and just being like, hey, like just very randomly. I'm like, I'm not even following you. I'm not your friend. Like, I don't know.
Danny Shipley's talking about success stories from Listen CLE already.
Nice.
They launched this just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
review
any
already.
musicians out there, go to listencle.com, and it's very self-explanatory to walk through it and get yourself set up. And you can use it the same as you would use an electronic press kit for sending out your demos and trying to get gigs yourself.
Very cool. That's a cool resource.
Lastly, let's shout out Unrefined. Unrefined is a meal prep service based here in Cleveland, and they focus on nutrition, like very health conscious stuff. It's a 100% gluten and dairy free meal prep service. If you go to unrefinedls.com and use the promo code CS20, you'll get 20% off your first order, and they'll give you free delivery. Oh, they'll give you delivery, not free delivery, if you're within 35 miles of downtown, right to your door. And I eat it myself, and it's delicious.
Nice. We could do something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. 20% off your first order. Go use it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I hate grocery shopping.
And now, back to the show.
Can you grab my other tea, please?
Maybe.
All right, we have Brian and Emily, husband-wife light company operators here.
Yes.
So glad to have you here. This has been very informative. Let's find out more. I don't know anything about the kind of gear you guys use. Can you tell us about like the different kind of lights and what their functions and their names are? Maybe boring, but interesting to me. I'd like to know.
What's your favorite light colors to use at night? That's my question.
All of them.
All of them.
The biggest one that threw me for a loop was when I asked Keith yet again, when he was doing bypass circuit show, I was like, what color do you want? And he said brown.
Brown. At night?
But
Ever. Brown ever.
how?
Like how?
Yeah. Yeah.
knowing lighting concept, it blew my mind still to this day how you make brown light.
I mean, you have
Other
amber,
than a
but that's
film
not the
to
same.
put over a light, you can't do it. Because it's always based on red, green, and blue.
Yeah.
You put those three together, you make white. So it's like the opposite of paint and markers. When you mix red, white, or red, green, and blue together, it makes a brown or black. With light, it makes white. So it's reversed what you would think with painting.
Wow.
It's another thing to wrap your head around when you're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it now; it's like second nature. But
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say purple.
So were you unable to make brown with lights?
no, can't.
Wow.
You can get like certain shades of like amber that I don't know.
Did he know that he was trying to fuck with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think so, but he fucked with me really hard because it's still.
It sounds like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what was the question again?
What? You like color combos or equipment?
I
Types
said
of
lighting colors. He said, what's some of your gear? I said, what's your favorite color at night? I thought I was going to hear purple. He said brown.
I want to know about the kinds of lights there are and like when they're used and how often you use.
So I mean, you have a few basics. So I mean, you have like wash light, which is just generally like mostly used for like front light. It just kind of washes the whole area out with color.
So you can see faces of the
Yeah,
band
it
members
just
and
fills.
musicians.
So you put
Yeah.
that up front to
Is
light
that like a
faces.
spotlight?
Well, spotlight is more narrowed to spot a certain.
So it's like a spotlight at a bigger angle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a wider angled
Yeah.
lens, basically a wider throw.
Yeah.
So it just spreads over a different area and just washes out the whole area.
Okay.
And then you have your spotlights, like you said, that focus down. So you get like your follow spots, or like we have a focus spot 3Zs are our big movers that we use. And those have a narrower focus. I mean, the 3Zs you can zoom in and out and change that a little bit, but those you can generally focus on certain band members instead of washing the whole stage. And then then you get into like the moving headlights that you can control the movements on and have them go crazy or be able to aim it at a certain individual.
Yeah. They also have like different designs called gobos. You can put the little gobo chips in a light, and it gives you like, you know, your star patterns or your swirls or like the different effects that you see on the dance floor
Different
or the backwash.
Yeah, they call them gobos. It's a funny word, but
Yeah. You could realistically, if a band really wanted to, you can like get little
custom ones made.
custom logos in them or whatever, and be able to use those too.
Yeah, and they use those in weddings and like for monograms on the wall, so you can put like the couple's name and like some filigree pretty stuff and put it on the wall.
Some venues have it for like the venue name. They'll have it.
I think
so
they
like
have it at the Cleveland clothing store downtown. I think they have one shining at the ground outside of the store.
Yeah, so that's what a gobo is. Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, now you get in from those to like effects lights, like a bunch of different LED bars and rails and panels.
Yeah, we have 8 of the rails right now. Those ones are always nice. We always usually get compliments on those out of anything. Just how long are they? They're
about 3 foot-ish.
Yeah.
Give or take. They a lot of people think they remind them of the like truck LED bars for on trucks.
Yeah.
On top.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like those pretty much, but they're the full red, green, blue color spectrum. You can fade and do all this crazy
different
pixel
patterns
mapping.
and pixel mapping. Yeah.
Do you guys have your own logo on one of those gobo things?
No.
We do on one of the pin spots.
A cheaply made one, yes. So we have, because like you could get them made out of metal ones, so like a solid metal that they laser cut it out, or you can get more expensive and get glass ones. There's like glass full color ones even that do like full images. But you can be cheap and print it out on laminating paper and cut it out and throw it in there, and it's not as crisp, but it works.
Yeah, or just like we use it for like a little advertising, light
like
or whatever.
Throw it up in the lighting booth is like a Enlightenment Event Lighting.
Yeah, but and then what else do we have? We have a bunch of different size moving lights. We have
so many
moving
different...
wash and. The LED bars, the blinders. The blinders are always a good effect. Those are the big, bright flashing ones when a beat drops and stuff like that.
Wow. There's.
And then when we team up with Eddie with Scuda, we utilize lasers, high-powered lasers, and then projection mapping. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we have like the trussing too. The truss bars and stuff.
20-foot truss. With 2 stands that crank up on either side. I have a 20-foot one. Eddie has a 20-foot one. So if we team up, we've actually done long, wide stages where we've done 2 20-foot next to each other to give a 40-foot.
Or the
totems.
Totems, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the truss, but standing vertically on a base. So you could put a light on top of that from the ground versus hanging it from the ceiling.
Yeah. That stuff is fun because you can you can just design so many different things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different lighting things out there that we don't even have yet that get into. They're doing holographic shit nowadays. They can. Hell, they put Tupac on stage.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Come on, that's next level stuff. I want some holographic stuff. I'm still working on LED wall.
Man, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Between LED wall and holographics, what's on your? Tell us about some things on your wish list. Like what are you aiming for the next step up for Enlightenment?
Yeah.
They're gonna do some more lights for Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
So
I mean gear.
That stuff
I mean the gear.
well, to touch back on how affordable it is.
I'm gonna spit out my beer.
It's one of those hobbies where you always want more, and it gets exponentially expensive.
Money hole.
More and more expensive. Yeah, like you go to a bigger show and you go, wow, I wish I could do that. I could do that. Mm-hmm. Wait, if I had 100 lights. I have 4. I got some places to go to.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, you can have the skill for it, but you need the resources. You need the money to make it happen.
And in our case, I mean, a lot of people would go work for another company that is paying the way, has the equipment and all that. Like, this is just us. This has been me working a full-time job and going buying equipment with spare money or pulling out loans and getting it out myself, and it's my equipment.
You
It's
guys,
not a bigger company.
have you guys ever tempted to go work for one of those bigger companies that have it all?
No,
I mean, I think
That was the question.
I don't think so.
we've thought about it, but it like
Crossed the mind, but like with the time scheduling and everything else, like
yeah. I think it would be fun to do as maybe like a part-time gig to just gain more knowledge and experience. I think would be cool.
I
But
think
I think it's nice owning our own equipment and being able to do what we want with it and where we want to go with it.
So much value in just that.
Yeah.
I think we looked at it too as like if we go to and work for another company, we're taking a step backwards. Because we took that leap
Such a good
forward.
perspective. Such a
Took
good
that leap
perspective.
forward to start our own company and grow something of our own. If we were to just kind of work for someone else, that would be pushed to the side. Instead of us focusing on
Yeah.
the thing that we're growing.
And I think too, like a lot of the local Cleveland scene and stuff, there aren't a whole lot of bigger companies that are doing light shows for the little guy,
Yeah.
you know? And
that's
I don't mean little guy as in like the local Cleveland scene's not. Yeah, but like
You
yeah.
mean not the smashing?
Yeah, you're not like a national
Right.
touring
We're
band.
not playing the Agora? What do you mean?
Yeah, but just there's a need for smaller local companies like us to help out the other local people that need the resource.
And there's a lot of local bands too that just want a couple little LED lights, like when I started, that just need that wash to light the stage up. They don't need the fancy bells and whistles and all the crazy shit. They just want just the nitty gritty, make it look good so you could see us playing. And that's all you need a lot of times, and that doesn't cost a lot.
It's nice to be able to do that full spectrum for like what am I saying? Like an a la carte as needed, what you need for your show, what your budget allows and stuff. Being able to do that to still make cool mood lighting and cool looking shows for the people that can't spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on their light show. But having the company ourselves, we have the flexibility to do that and to do the larger stuff. And I feel like when you work for a bigger company, it's just focused on the big scale.
Yeah.
So it's nice
Looking
to
at
be
the
able
numbers,
to do
yeah.
both. Yeah.
Awesome. That is an amazing place to be mentally with that.
Yeah.
And all the ways I wish you answered that question, you did answer the question.
We try.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a unique little hobby, and it all started as a hobby, but once you put so much money into it, you got to make something back on it.
Yeah, that's how it has been with guitar at some point in my life.
Yeah.
Danny too, right? Yeah.
I have now at this point. I think I've earned back more money than I've spent on guitar right now.
Good. That's good, yeah.
Because I've spent. Yeah.
Until you make the next
So
purchase.
time to spend more. Is the way
We're
to say
hitting
it.
like $1 plus at this point. I feel like, but it's such a rewarding hobby. But I feel like if you can make your job, if you can find your hobby as your job or make that mostly your job, like you'll wake up with so much energy, you'll wake up so happy, and like people are like, I gotta go to work, and you're going to work, but you're going to work for yourself. So you never like you'd sell your company maybe if you wanted to, but like outside of that, like.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the dream. My uncle looked at me when I just started working a new job, and it's in the music industry. But he was telling me you'll never work a day in your life, and he smiled when he told me that, and I'm just like, it's just been stuck in my mind because it's like this is what I want to do, and it's gonna get bigger, it's gonna get better and such. But like you're just learning along the way. There's little problems or whatever, but it's like I love what I do, you know.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people right now can say that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your new job?
I work for a music marketing company called Copious and Organic Music Marketing, and we work with big artists and indie upcoming artists, and we specialize in pretty much anything marketing online for just about anybody who has a video or something on Spotify or something. And even if like you guys had a YouTube video, we could like get the marketing in there and just going from there. But it's been really fun. Been doing that for about 2 months now, and it's just been like, it's been great.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 months of paradise.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah.
No, we haven't done anything with our YouTube in
Yeah, we were on a good. We were
years.
making nice YouTube videos there for a little while.
Yeah.
For
We
your
got a
lighting
handful.
company?
Yeah.
We got a handful.
There are some out there. Yeah.
Yeah, marketing is. I feel like marketing is when people are really passionate, they're good at what they do. It's like it's the other aspect of what you have to do because you deserve it, you know. And it just hopefully it'll be rewarding. Hopefully it'll lead to more clients. Hopefully it'll lead to more shows and stuff. But yeah, it's generally good in the long run if you're like looking to work with somebody bigger or anything like that, and just be like, hey, look. This video has this many views. This video, we worked with these people, and people are seeing it. And it's what you deserve. It's what you deserve.
Right.
It's one of the hard things when you're doing lighting, because the way that we do it, we use MIDI pads and the laptop, and if we're at a place that has different boards and stuff, our hands are occupied the whole time. So it's like, oh man, like this looks really good. I want to take a video so bad, but you're like in it, so you can't.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, it's like the most epic parts of the show we don't have recorded because of that reason,
Unless there's a photographer or videographer at the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Or it's one of those, like, you just set your phone up somewhere and record.
Yeah.
You forget it's there for an hour, and you
Yeah.
have no
That means you're
space
so
on your
into what
phone
you're
anymore.
doing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Who are some photographers that have gotten some good footage for you?
Oh, I mean, our
Evan.
go-to, Evan Lee.
Yeah.
He's our
He gets
go-to
great
with
shots,
the-
and he's just a good dude.
Evan Lee's the man.
Yeah.
He's. I would have him on this podcast. He just doesn't do music, but just for the photography. Hell yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's at most of the shows.
Evan, I'm gonna call you probably tomorrow.
Get called out there, Evan.
Yeah. It's such a specialty too, because like not all photographers can take live music photography. It's like totally different settings and a skill set. It's like
Right.
I know some people like they'll take video or the pictures during the show. I'm like, why are you taking video of the or why are you taking video of this while I'm doing a guitar solo right now? Like, why? Come on,
Yeah.
like you got like, don't you see the singer moving?
that
Or like,
shot
don't you see the drummer doing a drum solo? Oh, we're gonna catch this over here.
Yeah.
Like it's a skill set. It
Yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah.
And the angles and everything's so important.
Yeah.
So
And I
important.
even brought up, like, when we got married, I was like, we know plenty of photographers. Like, for a wedding, she's like, no, it's totally different.
Yes,
for
it
weddings.
is.
need a wedding photographer.
photographers totally
Specialized.
Yeah.
like with you with the lighting, it's like, that's outside of my element. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, hire somebody. Yes.
Yeah.
We did talk to a guy named Aaron Bound. He has no numbers photography. He's a concert photographer.
Nice.
He was episode like 22 or something.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we have talked to photographer.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a name that I know. Now I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to look it up.
Look him up.
That's another person we work with a lot at shows is the photographers, because they're always coming up giving suggestions or like, hey, can you not use this color or do this color more than that color?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Or
Think about
certain-
that.
Because they can't capture the shot. Like
Or even
or something.
asking if we're using lasers, because
Oh, wow.
lasers could affect something in
Can
the
break their
camera.
lenses and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I have no clue.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other photographers? Evan Lee.
Kaylin just started hers. Kaylin Joy.
Kaylin. Oh, Charlie's wife.
Yeah, Charlie's wife.
Yeah,
Check out
wife
epi-
now.
Yeah.
New
Check
wife,
out episode
We're
4
all
of the
getting
podcast
hit,
with Charlie
man.
Wilson. That one went so
Good people,
quietly
too.
under the radar. I'm like,
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Charlie.
Yeah.
Good people.
Kaylin, yeah. Yeah.
And then,
I mean, there's a handful of them.
God,
I'm
why
not
are
good
the
on the
names
spot.
coming?
I know.
Maddox was around. I haven't
Maddox
seen
was
him in
around for a
long
while.
time.
Yeah, he did a
is he
great
still
photography.
doing that? I haven't seen
I
him.
haven't seen him in a while, but
Yeah. And there's
who's
Tommy
that?
Waters
Tommy
is up and
Waters,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah. There's Brandon. Brandon
Yeah,
something
there's
too.
probably more
quite
that
a
we're
bit.
not thinking of.
Yeah. But we're very grateful to that service, because again, when
But you do.
our hands are full,
you do
we
work
rely
a lot
on
with
them.
the photographers. To, like,
I mean,
look at.
Not really. Yes, and
They're there working.
It's good communication when
we
need be.
communicate with, not really work with per se, but
Yeah.
we're all working together
They
toward the
give
same
you
goal.
they give you shots.
Yeah, and a lot of times, they'll come up. I mean, we know Evan so much it just pops up on Facebook.
Yeah.
But anyone else, I mean, if we don't know them, they've come up to us and say, "Hey, we're gonna post them on here, so you can check them out, use them if you need to." And
Yeah, which is really helpful.
yeah, it's helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anything else you want the world to know about the life of a lighter?
Lighter, I like that.
Yeah,
We are Cleveland's lighter.
It's a LD, technically known as the LD, the lighting designer.
Yeah,
Right.
Light designer.
Technically in the industry known.
yeah,
Light design technician.
I guess.
yeah. Technical. Yeah. I guess I just kind of want to put in there from my perspective of being a female and doing it. I don't see a whole lot of other girls and women doing like the production side of it, and I just want to like encourage any girls if like you want to do that you are more than capable, and there's other people out there, and it's a fun job no matter who you are, and anybody can do it. Just gotta learn and put the time in, and
There's definitely a sexual stigma there when it comes to a girl on the stage. Because right now I can not even be there. She could set up the whole show and do the whole thing herself. But there's been shows where it's like immediately a guy's just like, "Oh, you're the help," or "You're the girlfriend that doesn't know what you're doing," and just assumes.
yeah.
And it's a lot of that.
Yeah. So I just want to add that in there. If you want to do it,
Go do
just
it.
do it.
Disregard
Yeah.
all that negativity that anybody says. And
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, show them what you're made of.
Yeah. But other than that,
Anybody can.
it's fun, and it's such a creative outlet, and it adds so much to a show. It really does. And we love doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun, and like any genre too. If there's bands that see us in the jam band concerts and stuff that we do a lot of, like we do everything under different genres and stuff like that too. It's not just limited to that. We do country shows and rap shows, hip hop, blues, rock, you name
House
it.
parties, weddings,
Yeah.
street fairs.
Yeah,
And we did Norwalk Strawberry Festival the other week.
yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
There was over 200 something little kids in a pageant thing. It was ridiculous how many kids there were.
They were adorable though.
From 0 to 6 months, all the way up to like teens.
Yeah.
Like
So you get to see
200-something.
that's like before the late night when the bands come on and stuff. Like get to do the little things like that too. That just add the cherry on top.
The local talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the donut eating competition.
Get to shine a light on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you let us know again where we can see lighting stuff up this summer?
So we'll be at Everwild, or not Freak Stomp, Everwild
yeah.
Tropidelics Festival.
Well, this Saturday is actually my birthday. I'm doing a show at the Winchester.
Oh wow.
Cannot think of the name of the band right now, but
On the spot. That's it.
yeah.
Cool.
On the
Yeah.
spot. I have
That's
it
with,
written down. I just don't know off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
yeah, the
Is it a
Winchester.
brunch party? Is it a brunch party?
Starts
No,
with a
it's
J, right?
Yes.
They're a new band.
Yeah.
And,
Yes. I'm
Camel
excited
Butter's
to
gonna
hear
be
them.
playing there.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite band in the scene right now is
Yeah.
Camel Butter.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
God.
No
great.
hate to anyone else out there,
Yeah.
but you're not Camel.
I like
We
some
have done
Camel
lights for
Butter.
them quite a bit.
We've worked with them a couple
Yeah.
times for sure.
Another one that we
And,
love
Unk,
doing.
Unk D, I think, is doing that too. Am I right?
Oh,
Do you know
nice.
that band?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
we've
ones
done
that
lights
just
with them
comes
before,
to the
too.
top of my head is Quasi Kings. That's like we always really look forward to doing
Yeah.
shows for the Quasi Kings. We
Yeah,
just
they're
did one
good
of those.
time.
But yeah, so we have Everwild, and then we have Fall Hookahville,
Those
and
are the big ones.
yeah, and then just a lot of like miscellaneous shows here and there in between and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a weird little lull during like the July month, which is weird. Usually July and August is like booked up.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
if
there's some
you have a
openings.
show in July and you need lights, our calendar is oddly free. So
Reach out.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, great. We always ask all our guests one last question on this podcast. And can you give us a recommendation for a good movie?
Oh, good movie.
That's a good question. I don't know. We just saw the new Doctor Strange. That one was pretty good. It was not what I was expecting, but it was really good.
No, Free Guy
I saw
was
that
pretty
too.
good.
That was
Free Guy was
Free Guy
really
was
good.
fun.
Yeah.
I haven't
hilarious.
seen Free Guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that one's pretty
I
good.
almost put on that new Matrix movie last night.
It's garbage.
Is it?
Oh no!
That's what
If you're a
everybody.
fan of any of the Matrix and you watch this, you're gonna think it's a meme.
Okay.
Oh no!
So go into it expecting trash.
meme.
And I'll be
Yeah, you'll be
surprised.
I've
Be
only
like
heard
semi
bad
like,
reviews.
"Oh,
I love the
no."
Matrix. I've
It's
only
when
heard
you-
bad reviews and I've still never seen it.
But it's like when you go into a movie and it's like, hey, this is gonna be the best thing ever, and then you're like always let down. But
I
if you
went
go
in
into a
opening
movie
night.
like, yeah, it's gonna be okay, and then you get surprised by how good it is. You're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So free Guy from you and Danny. Sorry to
think
cut
so.
you off.
No.
Was
I don't wanna
it
talk
more
about
Matrix trashing?
It
I
made
don't
me
wanna
mad.
hear it.
Literally, I walked out mad before the credits started. I was like, "Ooh, why would you do this to a beautiful thing?"
The trailer looks so good. They put all the good parts in the trailer.
The whole movie's in the trailer. Like all you need to see is in the trailer. Anyways, I'm done.
Dang.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was good though too.
It was good. I'm a sucker for the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I can thank my older brothers for that. They were comic readers and
Nice.
they had the big thick Marvel
Nice.
books that like gave you all the details of all the characters and stuff.
Nice.
So
Nice.
any of the Marvel movies, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go see it.
I just took the family to see the Bob's Burgers movie.
Was it good?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
I
so
didn't know
good.
that was a thing. Nice.
Never got into that show.
It's a great show.
I love
I
Bob's
like
You'll want to
Bob's
buy a
Burgers.
ukulele after it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So Bob's Burgers movie, if you like some good, clean, semi-clean family humor.
Yeah.
I like it better than Family Guy because it's a little bit more clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Family Guy's lost its appeal over the years, but you know, whatever. It's still going to do its thing, like The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
Yeah, they're still making new episodes of The Simpsons. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the Simpsons, South Park, and they're all just gonna never stop.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna
Keep getting
going.
renewed. Keep getting renewed.
They're gonna be like old and wrinkly and still going.
Yeah. It becomes nostalgic after a point.
The guy who voices Donald Duck has died, and I think his son took over, and it's literally two people. And I can actually talk like Donald Duck a little bit, but like literally people are like, you should just camp outside at Disney until you get a job. And I was like, no, this is trademarked. It's literally a family, and they have like a booklet nobody can read outside of the family on like how to talk like that. They just keep going like that. They just keep
get
going.
a snippet?
So we can't hear it
I was
because
gonna
of
say,
the
do we get to hear
You
this
can't
now?
tease it.
You know, guys, I can sing like Freddie Mercury, but that's trademarked, so you can't.
Next episode.
Oh, what do you want me to say? I'll say Kai Hug sound.
Wow, that was really good.
I was drinking beer, so I don't know if it was really
Okay.
good, but yeah.
Nice.
Made it better.
Nice.
I can't wait to use that as a sound clip later.
My dad tells me to use it every
Yes.
show. My dad tells me to use it every show, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be known as a Donald Duck guy. No.
There's worse things you can do.
Yeah, but that's all.
Yeah, just don't dress like him on stage.
Don't dress like him on stage. Yeah, that'd be the move. I was thinking about bring my dog out on stage and just hold him up like the Lion King thing every show. Nah, you penya.
Oh my gosh. Oh, really? He's our festy dog.
Yeah. Oh, you bring a dog?
Wait. Well, now we have
Nice.
two, but yeah, Louie. He's a.
My dog's named
festival
Leo.
vet. He's
Yes.
been around.
Louis probably been to more shows than most average people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Probably been to more festivals than most
Yeah.
average.
Do you have like earmuffs for him?
No.
We don't keep him
We
out
don't
by the
use
stage.
it.
That's smart. There you
Yeah.
Yeah, we see those people with dogs that are like in the
Right
fifth
in
row,
front
and
of the
they're like,
sound.
crazy.
the
speakers.
dog's curling up in a ball. Obviously, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
To not be there.
Yeah, that's like an airplane, like sitting right here for us or
Yeah.
something.
Those are
That's
the
crazy.
people that like you should just not have your dog there.
No.
You're not
Yeah, no,
gonna take
Louis is the
care of
type he'll get like VIP rides on the golf carts from people,
Wow.
the staff.
it.
He's
Shout
like,
out to Big Jim.
yeah.
Wow. It's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun. I'm really glad we got
Thanks.
together. Thanks for coming to the new studio with a new co-host,
Yeah.
new chapter of, of our
Congrats.
podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Cool. Call these guys if you need something lit up this July.
Yes.
Get something
Yeah.
lit.
Get lit.
Yeah.
Is that your
But
slogan?
that should be.
I feel like we talked about that before.
That might not be the most
If you
professional
coined that, that'd be
route.
so funny.
Might not be the most professional route though. In the corporate
Yeah.
environment, get lit.
Yeah.
Corporate needs to laugh more, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
agreed.
that's just what they
But
need.
corporate's what you're going for.
Hey, corporate
Well, thanks
pays
for all this
Yes.
great information. I feel very enlightened.
Ah.
And for the Cuyahoga Sound podcast, I'm Evan Stone.
Danny Shipley.
Peace.
Peace.